This is Mark Livesey, and you're listening to the Gritty Bowmen.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Someone tell me where the Humane Society of the United States has ever bought 1 acre of habitat, where they have ever funded one project that got rid of invasive weed species, where they've ever funded one project that got rid of the Asian carp in the Illinois River. I mean,
none of it.
Pick whatever it is. They've got net assets in the hundreds of millions, and they've never done anything.
I did this whole series of posts of the hierarchy of dead animals on Instagram, on social media. Uh-huh. So I had like a picture of chicken. No one cares. Like dead, like chicken meat. Yeah. A picture of chicken. A picture of fish, like cut up fish. No one cares. Yeah. A picture of an actual fish. Still, no one seems to give a picture of a dead turkey. No one seemed to care. It seemed like But then I showed bear meat. And I showed some bear meat that was just in a bag. What about that? And I'm like, now we're getting weird, right? Yeah. Well, it's just meat, but it says bear on it. This is bear meat.
Yeah. We care about wildlife. We care about landscapes. We care about all the things that are necessary for conservation. We'll tax ourselves 11%.
But if I showed an actual bear, like we posted some pictures of he's taking me bear hunting, actual bears that I've killed. Gee, I've never had anything in my life where people get mad at me more.
There's no leftover mule deer tags in Arizona, okay? You can't ever buy a leftover mule deer tag in Arizona, okay? You can buy leftover Coues deer tags in Arizona, okay?
Like I said, I'm curious about it because it seems like an underappreciated critter.
Like there's javelina tags that are left over, okay? There's leftover Coues deer tags there. Do you think my third season buck scored more than your fourth season buck in Colorado?
I don't want to talk about it, John.
Yeah, I did see video. I'll give him credit, but it was probably before your hunt, or it was probably in town. Okay, go ahead. This is your show. I'll let you talk.
All right, folks. Welcome to the Gritty Bowmen podcast. I'm here with John Adams and my uncle Kevin Call of High Point Outfitters. And hey guys, thanks for joining me.
Good to be with you.
We got you on the show today. Arizona tag deadlines are coming up. Application deadlines are coming up. And it's a great time to talk about Arizona elk hunting just before it's time to put in for your tags. So that said, before we get into, the nuts and bolts of applying and what options are out there and what tags a guy should go for, we were talking a little bit offline. So, John, tell me you had a couple of cool hunts this year. Tell me about one of them.
I had an antelope tag this year.
Antelope doesn't count. It's boring.
I'm with you. I'm with you. It's not like they make any cool sounds, and it's not like they bugle or grunt or anything like that. But
what's amazing is he drew the tag with 4 points.
Yeah, me and my buddy Josh drew
impossible
4 points.
Impossible.
And my uncle had 27 points. No, 26 points because 27 was guaranteed last year. So he had 26 points and he still couldn't get it. And 26 points means he's been putting in 24 years and he never got it. And then I got to send him my tag just to let him know that.
I think you earned it. I really do.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So anyways, we shot 2 stud bucks. And both Boone and Crockett bucks, and it was pretty cool. I got to take my kids; they were pretty excited about that. And Josh got to take his kids. We decided to take our kids instead of just making it like a super manly hunt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they got a riot out of doing that, and that was about it. Kevin sat the sidelines this year. He got to watch. Okay,
my daughter Krista had the tag. Same tag. My daughter Krista had the same tag. Oh yeah, but she was kind of.
And we didn't even camp together. We didn't hunt together. We didn't do nothing together because it wasn't competition. It was just kind of like, hey, you're gonna hunt, this side of the unit. I'll hunt this side of the unit. And so we're not sitting there, smoking bucks out from underneath each other.
And Krista, my daughter, was just, she was ready to just shoot whatever buck came along. She wasn't trophy. We just had a ball. We just had a ball. Blake, my son, was with me. Son-in-law Ben was with me. We just had a fun time. She shot a buck opening morning. We just had a fun hunt.
So tell me, a lot of our listeners are looking at Arizona, and you got two camps. You got a guy that wants to hunt just the biggest animal of his life, and he's saving up all his points in Arizona to be able to get that animal. And then you got the guys that, or just want to go on a fun hunt and just hunt in a western state. A lot of guys coming from the East Coast that are traditional whitetail hunters making their way west. And then you got the guys that live out west that, maybe they don't have elk in their state, or they don't have they just want another place to hunt. So you kind of have those two camps where you got the hardcore trophy guy that's holding out, and then you got the other guy. I want to talk about both with you guys. Let's start with the average Joe kind of guy that just wants to go out and let's say he just wants to bow hunt for the first time, an elk. And he doesn't care if it's a cow or a bull. He just wants to get out in the woods and chase an elk. What opportunities are available in Arizona?
Let me start off by saying, Brian, Arizona's the perfect state for both of those options, the trophy hunter and the hunter that just wants to come to Arizona. You have two choices on your application. So even the guy that just wants to come to Arizona can put in for the best tag on an archery hunt, let's say Unit 10. He could put in for Unit 10 first choice, and then second choice decide, hey, I want to just come to Arizona and hunt, and put in for a variety of units. Any unit around Flagstaff has quality bulls. I mean, you can look at Unit 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All of them have subunits, but all of those units right here around Flagstaff, Unit 9, Unit 10, have that quality of a hunt. Certainly, there are some units that are easier to draw. We talked about last time. The unit that you chose to hunt is right here on the San Francisco Peaks. Is Unit 7 East. Holds great bulls and is a fun hunt. Fairly easy draw. You almost guaranteed that draw every 4 to 5 years. In Arizona, you get a loyalty point after you put in 5 years. And if you continue to apply, that point stays forever. The Hunter Ed point, again, if you get a Hunter Ed point here in Arizona, that stays forever. So those 2 points will stay, forever through your application process. So then another 4 years of application, you are guaranteed that tag with 6 points. So again, there's always option in Arizona for the quality and or opportunity. We're a great state for both. Yeah. And a lot of people don't see that. A lot of people, is that your wife? She's just going to pop in and say, come on. Seriously? There you go.
You didn't even smile. You kept a straight face. I like that.
Yeah, it is. So, really, Arizona's got great opportunities for both.
So I would say when I went to hunt in Arizona and I drew the tag 7 East, and I've said this before, I just wanted to go and chase 6x6 bulls, mature 6x6 bulls in a unit where there's just a lot of them and there's a lot of opportunity to harvest one, and where the cow to bull ratio is a little more advantageous to a average bow hunter like me. Whereas if I go to Oregon, it might be 1 bull to every 10 cows, and the rut isn't quite the same, and things are pretty challenging in that circumstance. So I like the idea of being able to go to Arizona every 4 years. And like you said, if you go and you take the hunter safety, you get in Arizona, you'll get that 1 point that you always get to keep, the bonus point. And then, like you said, if you apply every single year, you keep 1 loyalty point, which never goes away.
That's right.
So every 4 years, combined with the other 2, you effectively have 6 points if you're really dedicated to the state. And every 4 years, you can hunt a unit like 7 East. That's a pretty killer unit. I experienced it firsthand. Big bulls, screaming elk. I was in that same unit with Russ Myers, who drew that tag, and he shot a 5x5. I think it was a 5x5 bull that was 350 in that same unit, and you guys had glassed up and spotted through your cameras and such like some 370 bulls in there.
Yep.
So there's a potential for a very, for a guy like me, a big mature bull. At the same time, there was 310 bulls and 320 bulls everywhere.
Yep.
So all of that opportunity comes.
Aren't you coming back? When are you coming back? You should. How many points you got?
I lost my loyalty point because. So you have to start over.
Rookie mistake.
I know, rookie. So you have to start over, right? So I won't get that loyalty point back for a little bit, but
we were just actually talking about general rifle hunters. So if there's any rifle hunters, okay, we went 12 last year on the general rifle tag, and that only takes a couple points to draw.
Well, that's what I was going to get
at.
Next is
that
blows my mind that Arizona has this rifle hunting opportunity that that doesn't take that many points to draw. Now, you have bulls that are broken up and stuff, and so they're not, but there's always that potential for big bulls. And these units that take, so tell me this, John, how many points does it take to draw one of those rifle tags during prime time versus late season?
I think it's 24. Is it 24, 25 points max right now?
21 for the early rifle 10 tag. 21 points.
21 points to draw that tag.
Yeah, and it only takes 5 for 7 east. Just as an example, 5 for the late rifle bull hunt.
Right.
But that's non-resident. 5%.
But tell me this: 21 points. But what about that same unit late season?
10 late season. 8 points. Eight points for a non-resident, 6 for a resident.
Okay. And then tell me this. How many units do you have out there where I could draw a rifle hunt with 2 points and get into bulls?
Probably
4 or 5.
Probably 5. I was going to say 5.
Yeah.
5 tags to come here. And that's just to hunt bull tags. You can always come hunt cow tags here and there. We don't guide cow tags, but sometimes we do. Sometimes we guide cow. I have done cow tags.
I had a father and son, 2 years ago that had never hunted before. It was awesome. It was great fun.
It was actually pretty cool. I agree. It is pretty fun shooting cow tags, but it's just not. Last cow tag, it was opening morning, and I was done within 20 minutes. It's just kind of, you feel bad, dude. You feel bad.
Well,
I
think it's with a bow and arrow. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Especially if you've never hunted elk before, and especially if the meat is a big deal, which for a lot of guys, meat is
it's best meat out there.
Yeah.
And archery cow tags are easy to get.
Yeah, you can get a cow tag.
You can get a cow
there's
tag every other year.
There's 100% draw odds. You don't even need to have a point basis. If you put in this year, you could almost get, very first time putting in for Arizona, you can come to Arizona and draw a cow tag.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
During the rut, even.
During the rut. Have a fun hunt, experience it.
You can hear the bulls bugling. You just know they're off limits.
Hey, dude, and that's all fun, dude.
You can give them the old hoochie mama, the old cow call, and they'll come in.
And then, so tell me about the late season rifle, though. Let's say a guy has 3 points or something, or he wants to put in for 3 years or 2 years, and he wants to, because I've seen you guys post videos of some awesome bulls taken, and as far as I understand, it only took those guys a few points to draw that tag.
So we were actually just talking about this today because we figured 12 people we were helping a day put in for elk hunts, and they're calling with very limited points. And we were talking to them about, well, let's just take last year, for example. We had 12 late elk hunters. All of them, there's 2 of them that shot rag bulls. The other 10 shot 6x6 bulls. They all had the 2 that shot rag bulls shot at 6x6 bulls and missed.
Right.
So then they just ended up shooting 6x6 bulls. 2 of the bulls were 340 plus on a general season tag, which takes, 2 points, 3 points to draw. And, people think that, people are putting in for Arizona with 20 points. They're going for the cream of the crop. I mean, they're going to come to Arizona to guarantee that they're passing up 350 class bulls. You know what I mean? To try to shoot that 380 plus, 390, maybe touching 400-inch bull. Like, that's what people see these point systems getting up there and like, I don't have a chance. They're just putting in for the cream of the crop. They're coming to Arizona one time, to guarantee a 380 class bull. But we're killing 360, 350 class bulls on general hunts if you're willing to take that risk. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So for 3 points, a guy could get in there and have a great late season rifle hunt and pull in a 340 bull.
There's a chance. There's a chance. I mean,
it's not a guarantee, John.
I know. That's what we were talking about. We were talking about that too. We're like, you can't guarantee people, but if they want to come to Arizona, you're killing a bull. Like, if you're coming to Arizona, like, you can kill a bull. Like, if you're set on a spike or whatever, you're coming to Arizona to kill a spike. I mean, you should be passing up those. On a late elk hunt, some of these, like a 7 East, during the same archery tag that you had, 3 years ago, I guided a general season elk hunter, and we were glassing up probably 10 bulls a day. 10 bulls a day. And they weren't his caliber of bull that he wanted to shoot. But they're anywhere from a spike to small 6, 5-point raghorn bull. And maybe a lot of your listeners are totally okay to come to Arizona and just shoot a 5-point bull. You know what I mean? That 280 class bull is still a solid bull to a lot of people.
What is a late season hunt you recommend that a guy can do to get let's say I want a 310 bull, 315, 6x6 bull, 320 in that range.
Did you see the bull that we killed last year? And I had a 7 East client last year. Did you see that bull that we killed last year?
I probably did, but I'm seeing a million of them lately.
But we'll send you a picture while he's pulling that up, Brian. Just for your listeners, we're talking about points that guarantee hunters tags, okay? But what we're finding is most people are drawing in the random draw now. That half the non-resident tags starting last year are going in the random draw. Half are going in the preference draw, or they call it the bonus pass draw. Okay. Most of our clients last year, you see that?
Wow, that's a cool bull.
So that's your same unit that you came on, and that takes very little points to draw that tag, and that's a 7 East bull late rifle bull tag.
See, most people are drawing tags in the random draw with little points. Okay, what we're talking, we're talking, 5, 6 points, 4 or 5 point, whatever. That is to guarantee themselves a tag in the bonus pass draw. Okay, but most of our clients are drawing in the random draw, so you could get a random draw tag in any unit probably before you get it in the bonus pass, the way the draw is working right now. So, 7 East, for example, it's going to take you 5 points to get that tag. So you could draw, you're guaranteed to draw it every 3 years if you have the 2 permanent points. Okay. So every 3 years you could draw that tag, but you're more than likely to draw that tag in the first year or two because you're getting a random tag. If you follow.
My client, Arizona, your first time putting in and he drew that tag.
I was going to say, did Arizona put that in place because of the point creep, right? Like there's just,
oh yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of guys who are like, I'm not going to put in anymore because I have no chance of drawing. I'm so far out. I have so few points, and pretty soon, and that's the problem I see with bonus points and preference point systems is at some point, if you don't have a random draw, there's just going to be people who get hosed because at some point, the only people that will draw are the people at the top of the point game, and everyone else has no chance. So pretty soon people quit applying. They figured that out. But Arizona is now offering what you said, 50% of the draw tags are left for complete lotto.
Okay, let me just explain fairly quick. 20% of Arizona tags go in a preference draw, pure preference draw. Whoever's got the points get the tag. 20% of the tags go in a preference draw. 80% of the tags go in a random draw. Okay. Now, with the caveat for your non-resident hunters, there is a 10% cap on the total number of tags, a 10% cap in each unit. Okay. Starting last year, half of that 10% cap goes in the preference draw. The other half goes in the random draw. That's how the non-resident tags are allocated. Okay. So again, it's a good system for people that just got a tag last year. We had a guy that had a premium tag last year. He never had a chance of getting that tag again, ever, probably in his lifetime, the way the preference draw worked. But now that there are random tags, he's back applying this year for that same tag with a chance of drawing that tag. And so I think it's a good system for new people that are coming in, kids coming in, and people that just killed a bull last year or the last couple of years in Arizona. They can come back and re-enter the draw and really have a chance of drawing. Give them your example of split the pot. I mean, John's got,
yeah. So my hunter last year, the same bull that I just showed you, he thought he was going to come to Arizona one time, and that was it. He's from California. I just got off the phone with him today, actually, but he's coming back to Arizona to hunt again. He, explaining that you have just as good a chance as somebody with 20 points, because it's like split the pot at a basketball game, right? Somebody buys 20 tickets for split the pot. It's always the guy that buys one ticket wins. You know what I mean? It's never the guy that throws $100. He's just donating the money to the guy being the cheapskate. It's always that way, So explaining that to him, and we have now. What's cool for us is, I feel bad for the people that have a lot of points, but we're getting return clients now all the time, like that are pulling these tags. We get phone calls, and you're just like, "Are you kidding me? You just had that tag, a year ago, and they just drew a solid tag again." And it's like, well, that's awesome. I mean, the Arizona point system, it's a love-hate relationship with it. You get the benefit of the doubt, like me last year with my antelope tag only having 4 points, going up against people with 27 points. You know what I mean? And I ended up pulling it. It's awesome. So yeah. You got to chase those bomber tags with your first choice, and then go for you can't do a guaranteed for your second choice, or else you'll draw it and they'll skip your first choice. This is all, strategy stuff, but yeah, it's strategy stuff. And that's what we've been, I'm kind of over like looking at all these draw odds. We've been looking at them for going on like how long? 4 weeks?
Yeah.
4 weeks of nonstop, but just questions. Hey, I got 3 points. I want a general rifle season tag, and, I don't want a guaranteed tag. I'm fine kind of sitting out maybe another year or two waiting for a better tag. And then we got people like, hey, I got 7 points. I want to come to Arizona and hunt this year. All right, well, here's your tag, a contract to sign them up to come to Arizona. Like you can't guarantee people a tag 100%, but we've sent out contracts before. So far, we've been 100%. That's Kevin, dude. This dude's a CPA, like by trade. The dude's got numbers down to science.
I enjoy helping people get tags. The change last year was a little, dramatic for some, but I think overall it's a good thing.
Yeah. Well, you also have over-the-counter opportunities in Arizona that I think a lot of people don't realize. So can you tell me about some of those?
For elk or for deer?
For deer, for mule deer, for coos deer.
Yeah. We also have elk over-the-counter tags. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
So we have elk over-the-counter. Deprivation hunts.
They're probably not worth hunting. Let me just say that.
They're probably
before we
not
get a bunch
really
of phone calls. They're not worth hunting. Okay, go ahead.
We have Lester's all into it. Lester will get you an elk on one of the tags. So if you want to come to Arizona on a deprivation hunt, come out.
We've got some guides to do it.
And he loves it, dude. He loves it. And I'm just like, dude, have you shot a 350 bull out of there yet? No, but if you're coming for the meat, he'll sign you up. He'll get you an elk. So, but anyways, Yeah, the mule deer tags are awesome. I'm actually going to take it serious this year. I've already discussed with the wife that I'm going to archery hunt for myself this year. But for anybody coming to Arizona to archery hunt during the rut, it's awesome. I mean, you can hunt
middle of December and the whole month of January. There's units that are open.
Yep.
Yeah.
August in the velvet, you can come hunt quite a bit of units here in Arizona in the velvet. We just posted Ben Sandals' video. Did you watch that one? He posted it 2 days ago.
I'll put him on the spot. Oh, I'm sure he watched it. Just say you watched it.
You did watch it. Are you lying, dude? Your wife just slapped your butt and you totally kept a straight face. And now he asks you to watch a mule deer video and start laughing.
Wait a second. I do have it bookmarked to watch on my phone. And I also have it set up to repost.
It's not called out, dude.
On my repost app, Arizona right here. See that? And I wanted to watch it before I reposted it because if it's not any good, I'm not going to share it. But if it's good, I'm going to share it.
Dude, he did a really good job. So he didn't even have computer program to edit anything a year ago.
Yeah,
we set him up. He set himself up. And I've been helping him, driving out to his house, helping him understand how to load stuff on YouTube, how to edit on Final Cut Pro. And he did that video, all the video work, all the editing, the loading, everything himself. So that just goes to show you with a little bit of help, he did it all 100% by himself. It was awesome.
That is awesome.
So watch it now and give it like a 1 to 10.
Okay, I will. I will.
Okay.
So tell me
when are you going to watch it, Brian?
When am I going to watch it? I'm going to watch it today. Today, right? When we're done, I'm going to watch it and then I'll rate it for you and let you know.
Okay, that's good. And he's up for criticism, so we gave him some at lunch today.
Oh, dude. I think anybody who attempts to make a film, you got to give him, you got to give him credit because it is not easy.
Yep,
it's not easy.
Yeah, and to put it public, you're just asking for criticism.
Oh, for sure. So I'm very reluctant to criticize anybody's film because I know how hard it is to do it. So anybody sitting in back, in the bleachers, and there's like, wow, that wasn't very good. I'd like to see them do it. You know what I mean? It's like so you can come and hunt over the counter for mule deer during the rut. And then you have some where it takes like 1 or 2 points archery.
Unit 12A and 12B, which is known as the Kaibab, the North Kaibab here in Arizona. You can draw with an archery. For an archery tag, it's a draw tag. The archery tag, you can do it with 2 to 3 points.
Okay.
It's a great hunt. Great hunt.
And then I'd like to talk to you a little more about Coues deer because that little deer I think seems like a very cool animal to hunt, and it seems like nobody cares about hunting them except for this cult group that isn't a lot of people.
It's like shooting fish in a barrel, Brian.
Really, Coues
it's like
shooting does off
a tree.
Yeah, it's like carp, It's like carp fishing. You know what I mean?
Shooting does in Alabama is kind of the same thing.
I've heard you guys are just are just racist against Coues deer. Like you just have if it doesn't have 200 inches or more, it just doesn't get your goat. It doesn't excite you.
I didn't. I tried it. Okay, I hunted them. I shot 1 Coues deer in my life. I got that out of my system, so nobody could say like it was just because you haven't tried it, right? So I shot a Coues deer. It was like a 90-inch buck, and it didn't do it for me. Okay, and then I went and guided 2 Coues deer hunters. Okay, I was like, oh, okay, let's do this. That didn't do it for me. Okay, I'm over the Coues deer thing, but there's Ben Sandal. He's like, dude, get me a Coues deer hunt. That's all I want to do is a Coues deer hunt. And I'm just like, it doesn't do it, Brian.
Yeah, you're talking to the wrong guys on the Coues hunt. I mean, we do have guides that love the Coues hunt, and we take a few hunters every year. But I didn't dare burn my points for Arizona on a Coues tag, so I went to Mexico killed the coos. They're fun to glass. They're a great glassing animal. They're fun, but I'm just not willing to burn my mule deer points on a coos tag in Arizona. That's it.
Let's just do this, okay? There's no leftover mule deer tags in Arizona, okay? You can't ever buy a leftover mule deer tag in Arizona, okay? You can buy leftover coos deer tags in Arizona, okay?
Like I said, I'm curious about it because it seems like an underappreciated critter.
Like there's javelina tags that are left over, okay? There's leftover coos deer tags that are okay.
So I'll talk to someone else about coos deer. Okay,
Absolutely.
I get it. But I do also understand the mule deer addiction because I hunted in Colorado this year, 4th season, which was the warmest season I think in history.
Why'd you switch up units on me?
Dude, it was a bummer. I'm gonna have to redeem myself in the other unit because this unit just did not.
Do you think my 3rd season buck scored more than your 4th season buck in Colorado?
I don't want to talk about it, John.
I
really
mean,
don't. Like
the rut was
Okay,
just
wait,
getting
wait,
going on. It was my last day. It was my. Okay, go ahead. This is your show. I'll let you talk. Go ahead.
So I did pass up on a buck that was bigger than yours.
I did see video of that. I did see video. I'll give him credit, but it was probably before your hunt, or it was like it was probably in town. I saw behind that buck.
It was a gorgeous deer, and I sat there and said, it was the second morning of the hunt, and I was like, no, I don't want to shoot that buck. I really want to shoot one that's bigger. You know, I'm looking for 180, 190, and it was like 170 something. It was a nice deer. Huge.
Did you call my only 70?
Well, I mean, here's the deal. This buck was amazing, but the back, it didn't score well because the back didn't split. But I mean, it was just like as wide as my arms. You should have seen it. Your buck.
I should go downstairs and get my 3rd season Colorado buck.
Okay, look, you shot a bigger deer than me. All right.
I mean. 3rd season is unreal. That rut was just getting going last year.
Well, and it was colder.
On my very last day. I shot mine the very last hunt.
Yeah, it was colder that period than it was when I was there. When the first 2 days of my hunt, it was like 70 degrees. Sucked. Anyway, my point was, before I got derailed on this my buck's bigger than yours thing.
We weren't going there. I was wondering why you switched units. Like
Aaron knew Aaron Snyder backwards and forward, and he's like, dude, monster. And we talked to a lot of people who shot big bucks in that.
Who's in my unit before me?
He dogged us for Aaron.
Who's in there before me?
The Gritty Spencer.
Oh, Spencer was in there.
Anthony was there.
Anthony was in there, had an awesome hunt. They shot.
His kids killed a couple bucks, yeah.
He shot a bigger deer than me, too. Yeah.
On a second season.
Second season.
He said those were the only 2 deer that he saw the whole time as well.
With no points, Brian.
I know.
Shot a bigger bucket with no points.
I know. My point was.
Don't say that unit. You can say.
Dude, I'm editing out all discussions about unit numbers.
Good.
But what I was going to say is that hunting after chasing mule deer, like seriously big mule deer, and putting stalks on them and running around them hills, glassing them. I mean, it is thoroughly addictive. And then I see these giant mule deer in my backyard running around, and they're just such a cool animal. I mean, they're just the epitome of Western mountain hunting. So and then after going to Alberta, where I shot a pretty good buck there. The mule deer thing, I got to admit, does get me more excited than a coos deer thing. But I still think I haven't tried the coos deer thing. I do think they're super cool, though. They would be a close second, a fun animal to hunt, I think.
You got a pile in your neighborhood, though. I've been seeing your pictures on the
I've got to show you mule deer. Can you see that?
Get close.
That mule deer. And then this is in, see, look at that. That's last year Kaibab in the Epic Outdoors premiere issue December. So
how many points did that take?
Well, to guarantee that tag, it's close to max. But again, you don't have to have maxing to get that tag. I mean, I don't know how many. I don't even remember.
He had 11 points.
He had 11 points. Wow. There you go. And he drew it in we've got people drawing it with 1 or 2 points. I mean,
those 11 points.
Aaron
had 0.
Aaron had 0
last. I mean, he had
2 points last year.
Yeah,
he drew it.
Those 11 points have nothing to do with drawing the tag. That for that guy, right?
What do you mean?
Meaning that if you're not in the max point region, you're not going to draw it based on points. You're going to draw it in that other draw.
He drew a random draw. Now, if you have 11,
done that with 0, right?
Well, if you have 11 points, you have 11 chances, just like a split the pot. 11 chances. If you're just going in, you only have 1.
Got it.
So he had 11 chances versus somebody just coming in. But there was other people with 25 points that didn't draw.
Right.
So it's just like split the pot.
Got it.
Yep.
Okay. Anything else you guys want to cover before we go? I want to get together at the Western Hunt Expo. You're coming, right?
We're still marinating on it.
Yes, we are.
I'm still marinating.
John, you got to come to the Western Hunt Expo and hang out. I mean,
dude. So we usually shed hunt. This what gets me excited. Okay, we usually shed hunt. Okay, that's my whole reasoning to go up to Utah is shed hunt. Okay,
they closed it.
They closed it. Okay, which is cool because we usually don't shed hunt.
Yeah,
Utah. Anyways, we shed hunt on the way back, but we've actually gotten pounded so much with snow that I don't think I can get to my shed hunting spot on the way back. So that's kind of where I'm marinating.
Well, the reason I said it is because it's harder to discuss over Skype, but I want to get into a bunch more about strategies in Arizona and these over-the-counter options, what guys should do, to what kind of point strategy based on a guy's goals, what he should.
Who do you got lined up for a podcast up there?
Even get into your schedule. Come on, let's face it.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't even answer my text anymore.
Dude.
You don't answer our text messages.
Sure I do.
It's like, we should always say postcards.
Look, it's been an extremely...
Look at him. He's got a Sitka gear.
Yeah, Sitka gear. At least he's got our on.
Look, it's been a very busy, hectic show season. But yes, Western Hunt Expo, 100%. I did a ton of interviews at ATA, so I don't plan on doing the same interviews at Western. Plan on keeping it much smaller than I've done in the past. I have a backlog of about 30-something shows that I gotta get out, so I'm not gonna. I just have a few chosen people I want to interview and cover with.
So we're 31. So this is gonna get out like after the result.
This is gonna go out tomorrow.
Yeah, let me go over the deadline real quick for everybody. February 14th is the deadline. Don't wait until Tuesday.
7 p.m.
Don't wait until Tuesday, February 14th to put in because Arizona is notorious for always having glitches in their system. So, get put in this coming weekend. Don't wait until the 14th. But 14th is the deadline. Just so everybody can keep the faith on the elk hunt, since we've been talking about elk. Here's a couple bulls that we killed last year. Both of them are 387 bulls. If you want to read about it, it's a father-son. They had 2 points. It's an epic December. We also have some pictures in.
They had 2 points on that.
In Huntin' Full. So there's some other pictures in Huntin' Full, but we are a preferred outfitter in both those services. But get in. And don't forget the deadline. Tuesday, February 14th, Valentine's Day. Don't wait till Valentine's Day. Get it done before that.
And
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
This isn't just interviewing us. How do you like your new job? Like, what do you think? Because before you were like you were commuting a long ways to work.
Yeah.
You're a computer guy.
Yeah.
Sitting at the desk.
Yeah, all day, every day. So the new job is. It's not like it's not work, but it's work I love to do. So, parts of it are a grind, like meeting new people, doing interviews. That's always interesting, always fun. Going to shows and meeting people is double-edged. Like, I don't get a lot of sleep. I'm tired, but it's fun because I get to meet new people and ask questions. The best part probably is the flexible schedule. Like, if I want to just go with my kids to leave for a weekend somewhere, I can just do it. If I want to hunt for 2 weeks instead of 1 week, I can just go 2 weeks. I still have to deliver and produce content and publish stuff. And I spend a lot of nights editing, like weeks where I edit like 60, 80 hours, just straight up behind the computer, just cranking edits. So, but I would trade that for the freedom I have with this path that I'm on. And all the upside, like the reward. I don't mind the work. It's kind of, it's fun. The podcast is not as fun as filmmaking, and I don't get a lot of time to make films because I'm so busy with the podcast. But because of some of the partners we've got and some of the options I have going forward, I'm hiring some film editors to help me create films, because I've got like, I don't know, probably 10 great hunting films on my hard drive. They just need to be produced. So I'm looking forward to having help. Aaron isn't going to edit anything. Aaron is there to talk and add content and to take photographs, and help me, work strategically, with partners. But the actual grind behind a computer, hours editing, putting music down, clipping things and stuff, all of that is me. So it would be nice to. Katie helps a lot, my sister Katie. So, but I need to hire another person. So I got that going on in the works.
You like Colorado better
than Oregon?
Yeah.
At the risk of offending all my Oregonian Northwestern friends and people who I've grown up with my whole life, I absolutely love the Northwest, but I can't handle the rain anymore. The cloudiness, the darkness. I've been there most of my life, and I want to go back in the summer, and I'd love to spend more time there, but I don't think I can. I mean, I've lived in Colorado once for 5 years when I graduated from college. So I've seen, sunny days on end, where it's just sunny all the time. And man, I'm so much more motivated and I get out so much more. I think when I was younger, the rain and the cloudiness didn't bother me that much. But as I've gotten older, I think the vitamin D deficiency and the lack of sunshine really, really take a toll on me. I get a little bummed and demotivated, and I haven't experienced that in Colorado at all. So
that's cool. That's my dream state. My wife wants California and I want Colorado, so we're going to stick right here in the middle of the two, I guess.
I think it's funny, as I drive around here in Evergreen in the mountains, and we were driving to church yesterday, and Suzanne was in the car with me, and I told her, I was like, doesn't this look like Flagstaff? And she's like, it looks exactly like Flagstaff. And, you see all these pines, and it's, it's pretty dry, but it's sunny. There's a little snow here and there. But it does look a lot like Flagstaff. And
so you're saying fine here. Like, I don't need to move to Colorado. Like, I'm fine here.
Yeah.
I used to live in the city, and I just moved kind of more out in the country, out by Kevin. He's been hiding this from me my whole life, I guess, about living out on this side of town. So there's elk all the time. I mean, in our yard, like, we have to put fences up around our trees because they'll just shred them. Like, we plant trees to enjoy the trees, but then you got to cover them up. Yeah. So elk don't get to them, so it's kind of a lose-lose.
When we're done here, we're going to flip the camera around. You'll be able to see the picture that he's got out of his picture window here. Where it's snowing, it's just starting to lift. You'll be able to kind of see what he's talking about.
But seeing all your pictures of the elk while you're driving through your neighborhood, dude, I'm just like, dude, it's people that don't get to experience that. Like I smile like every time I get all giddy inside, just like, dude, there's an elk on my yard right now, or there's a mule deer, there's a coyote, and dude, it's unreal. No, you don't take it for granted.
I will say that living in the mountains is probably one of the most peaceful. We're at like 8,500 feet, and then I'll go hike just up here and reach 9,000, 9,500, not too far from here. And it's a neat place to live. It's like paradise up here. You don't have the city. I'm not far from the city. It's like a half hour, 25 minutes, but it's not for everyone, man. There are people who just don't like the snow. They don't like the cold. They don't like the altitude. They don't like how far away it is from like big city stuff. But dude, it's right up my alley.
Yeah. Yeah. Every single person's like, so how far is it from like downtown or from the mall or in, you're just kind of like, is there a difference between an hour and 10 minutes? It doesn't really matter, like, to me, but there's a big difference to some people.
It is. Like, to me, it doesn't matter. And then because of the Gritty Bowmen, the work that I do, I can live wherever I want and get the work done. And so I probably would never have moved here if I had a desk job in downtown Denver like I did in the past. I used to work downtown Denver. It'd take too long to get there every day, but being able to work from home gives me the opportunity to live in a place like this, and it suits me well.
That's sweet.
Well, we enjoyed the Gritty Bowmen, man. You're doing an awesome job. We appreciate it. You're doing great. It's good to see you. I mean, really, you started a year and a few months ago. It's crazy what's happened in the last year.
It's pretty cool that you have UFC fighters and stuff like that, and Joe Rogan and like Cameron Haynes, and dude, they're studs, man.
You should definitely, if you come to Western Hunt Expo, we can do a podcast and you can sit down with Chad Mendez and
Chad Mendez is stud.
Luke and all those guys.
I'm waiting for I want to get him to get another fight against the Notorious, dude. He had that dude, man.
I know.
I'm a big UFC guy. Kevin, I don't think he cares about it, dude. I love it, dude.
Yeah. Well, those guys are going to be down there, and they're really cool. I think we talked. It's funny. We just did an interview with him at ATA, and Chad's like, "Yeah, I broke this on Connor's head, but it was like, and I broke this hand here, and I did this," and you're just like, those fighters live in a different world than I do, man.
You need to get Cody No Love on your podcast.
Yeah. Oh, I did get an email about something like that. I just have been.
Dude, if you get Cody, I'm there. You talk deal, dude. Like I'm there. I'm there. The dude's a stud, man.
Well, we'll see what we can do. I'm just
see what type of UFC fighters you can get there. But what's crazy is you go up to like in the ring, they look giant, and then you meet them, and you're like. It must be the camera angle, like when I take pictures of my mule deer and elk and stuff. Yeah, you make them look giant,
Yeah.
And then you see them in like and you're just kind of like,
they're not giant. Yeah.
But this is the number one rule, and I hope you and your listeners and you take advice from this. Okay, you ready for this? If anybody has cauliflower ear, you just shake their hand and walk away. You give them your wallet. Like, that's the number one rule. Because they can take a beating, dude, and they don't care. Like, cauliflower ear, you just walk away. You just, yes, sir, and walk away. That's the number one rule that anybody should take away.
That's what Aaron Snyder, he taught me that a long time ago. I mean,
does he have cauliflower ear?
No, he does not. But he recognizes that someone who does has, likes to suffer.
Yeah.
Right? Likes to suffer, likes to get hurt, and hurt other people. It's like a thing for them. And so, I would say you ought to watch your P's and Q's a little bit. Some of them, they're just funny guys, though. It's like the military dudes Aaron has introduced me to. Some of the funniest people I've ever been around. So, but you need to come to Western Hunt Expo so we can get into a lot more detail. You guys are a wealth of knowledge in Arizona. And we're just not taking advantage of that enough on the podcast and really getting helping people connect with that state enough. I feel we could ask the audience, what are the things that they want to know? We could do a little Facebook Live. We could get some traction going on that, ask some questions and find out what they want. And then we can go through those questions, a couple days later on the actual podcast. So, because I'm not sure what the listeners, I'm sure I've hit a lot of those questions, but there's probably a bunch that I'm just not thinking of that would be great to hammer out.
Right.
Yeah, very good.
All right, guys.
Well, the Western Hunting Show is after the draw deadline.
So
not for mule deer, though. Not for mule deer. Okay. Deer or elk and antelope, again,
February 14th.
And the second Tuesday in June is the deer and sheep draw deadline. So we've got a lot of time in June. But we'll come up and see you. We'll see you in Utah. We'll set up a shed hunting trip so we can go shed hunting with John and get up there and check you out next weekend.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
Hey, let me flip this camera around.
Show me that beautiful state. Ooh, John.
I don't think you see it.
I can see it. Yep. It's kind of hard to see why anybody wants to live in the city. I don't think it's by choice for a lot of guys, or live in the East. I was in the East. Alabama's flat as a pancake. It's hard to imagine living there.
You can't see it, but all right. So you actually shot your elk.
There's more mountains back there.
Well, yeah, like up there, like
Yeah.
you just got snow, but yeah, you actually shot elk up there. So I actually can glass where you shot your elk from here. So that's pretty cool.
That is cool.
But, yeah. But anyway.
All right, do some scouting for me.
Yeah, get your 100 head point or your loyalty point back.
Hey, get a tag and come see us.
I will. All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
Later.
Stay
Bye.
gritty. In 1907, only 41,000 elk remained in North America, and in 1950, only 12,000 pronghorn remained. Today, there are more than 1 million elk and 1.1 million pronghorn. Why? Because hunting is conservation. In 1937, hunters actually requested an 11% tax on guns, ammo, bows, and arrows to help fund conservation. That tax so far raised more than $8 billion for wildlife conservation. Altogether, hunters pay more than $1.6 billion a year for conservation programs. No one gives more. It's obvious that hunters care about animals, and yet we actively hunt and kill them. Many people cannot understand this dichotomy. How can we both care about animals and also kill them? It's a question that I challenge all of you to consider. Here is an excerpt from the Gritty Bowmen film, Alberta, with a quote from Fred Bear that describes my feelings on this subject. The first shot on this buck was fatal, and it cleanly pierced his vitals, but he didn't go down. I hate to see animals suffer, and when possible, I will always shoot them again if I have the opportunity. I have tremendous respect for this buck and his will to survive. He didn't go down easy, and I have mixed emotions about that. At times like this, I am reminded of a quote by Fred Bear, which somewhat describes my thoughts on this matter. Quote, I have always tempered my killing with respect for the game pursued. I see the animal not only as a target, but as a living creature with more freedom than I will ever have. I take that life if I can, with regret as well as joy, and with the sure knowledge that nature's way of fang and claw and starvation are a far crueler fate than I bestow. I do not hunt for the joy of killing, but for the joy of living, and the inexpressible pleasure of mingling my life, however briefly, with that of a wild creature that I respect, admire, and value. We can argue as much as we like, but the fact is, hunting is man's oldest and most successful try at life. Every human being is alive today because our ancestors hunted. So it's a relatively new phenomenon for people to regard hunting as a cruel and frivolous activity that has no worth outside of personal gratification for the hunter. The funny thing is, hunting has increased my appreciation for wild animals and wild places, not decreased it. And as I watch society lose its ties to wildlife and conservation, I feel my bond with nature grow ever stronger in direct correlation to my time spent hunting. I understand now more than ever that hunting is the greatest hope for creating the next generation of true conservationists. Never stop sharing your passion for hunting in the outdoors. Our wild animals and wild places depend on it. We thank Kifaru, Mountain Ops, Hoyt, Vortex, Phelps Game Calls, Black Eagle Arrows, and Crispy Boots for supporting the Gritty Bowmen. We love these companies and the people behind them. They truly make fantastic products. Please support them however you can. As always, good luck on your hunts and stay gritty.
This is Ty Stubblefield, and you're listening to the Gritty Bowmen.
Gritty Bowmen.